Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And on this art diary example, we'll be doing a few food studies of some Japanese food. So I wanted to start off with some dumplings. I wanted to use like the regular green, white, and pink ones. So I started off with a peach layer just so I can have something to paint on, because I really think when I'm using gouache, I like having a base layer to start on and then just build up from there. As you can see here, I am putting on a little bit of green, some dark green first I was trying to make like a sort of gradient for the dumplings. So after I put on the dark green layer, I put on a light green layer after it dried. And then as you can see here, I added the white, and after a bit, I added the pink. As it was drying, I kind of walked away for a bit just so it can dry a little better, and after a while, I added some shadows to it. You'll see here that I wanted to use like a purple for the shadows, and yeah, you can see it right here now. So I used like a purple. I should have honestly used a darker pink and a grayish color for the white to make the shadows, because I think the purple is a little too stark. I should have used something a lot closer to the colors I chose, instead of trying to use that purple I have for like the under part there. So that was my mistake. But other than that, the dumplings were more or less fine. I haven't painted in a while, so I was still kind of rusty. I went on vacation with some family, and I didn't paint at all during it. But now that I'm back, I was like, let me try and start something again. And this was a good practice round for me. After the purple dried a bit more, I decided to paint over it again with the pink, just so I can see if I'm able to like let the purple show a bit from the pink. But I think I use a bit of a opaque layer for that. I should have watered it down a bit just so we can have like a little transparent look to it. But I noticed it and I was like, man, I can't really change it now, so I'll just adjust and do better on the next one. But other than that, I think the dumplings looked pretty good. I would give it like a 6 out of 10. Alright, and now we're getting to the rice balls. So for this one, I wanted to try and do a wet on wet type of painting for this one. So I started off by having a really wet layer of purple and a bit of orange, just for like a bit of contrast. Then I started to go ahead and build from there. So I started off with the seaweed part with a little bit of, with some green and burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is probably one of my favorite things to use because I use it all the time for a whole lot of things. So burnt sienna was really a good player for this one here. After a bit, I mixed some white, a little bit of black, and it was some zinc white, permanent white, and a bit of black, just so we can have like that grayish color, so I can start the rice balls on like a kind of a metallic looking color. I know it's looking kind of dark now, but like I think it was like the lighter the color, the darker it dries for gouache. So after it dried a bit, I added some permanent white mixed in with some zinc white just to make it like really white, and just started another layer for it. After a bit, I added some more green to the seaweed, I let it dry a bit, and then I did another layer on top of it, just so it could come together a little more. And then as you can see here, I'm adding like a little shadow under the rice balls, and honestly, I should have added another dark color on top of the purple, just so you can see like the different shapes of the under the rice balls. So I should just use like a little bit of black and some more dark purple just to show the different, like the shadow difference there. And I wanted to add some of the purple onto the rice balls, so I just did some specks, and then I mixed it in with some water and some more white, just so it can like mesh together after a bit. I really used a lot of colors for the rice balls because I was thinking if I just made these white, it'll just look like a flat, it'll just look kind of flat. So I was like, let me do some like little artist thing or like a little artist tactic, and just add some of the colors I was using onto the rice ball so it can have like some kind of gradient, or at least some kind of texture and look to it. I think I was doing like some kind of impressionist type of thing, so I was like, let me just take some liberties. There we go. The word I was looking for was liberties. I want to take like some artistic liberties and just try and make it my own. And I think I really did a good job on it. And as it was drying, I was like, let me just wait a bit and then just add some more white to it, just to add on to the layers there. And it looks pretty good. So those rice balls were like a 10 out of 10 for me. Alright, so now we're getting to the, I think it was Mochi, I think. And this one was a tough one because I don't know what it was about this rice treat. I couldn't get the texture right. Everything was going pretty good until I was trying to like add details to the rice treat. But the leaf looks pretty good, in my opinion. But other than that, I once again started off with a wet on wet layer underpainting, and then I decided to build the layers from there. So then for the pink parts, I did one side with the dark pink and then the other side with the light pink. I tried mixing them a bit with a darker pink and then a lighter pink, just so they can like mesh together after they've dried. And it looks it looks really light here, but I do try to like show like how it's looking sometimes. But I think I had like the bright a little too bright on it, so you can barely see the difference. After a bit, I added, or you saw like some red and white dots. I was trying to do texture for it, but something wasn't working right with it, so I tried to do what I could just to make it work, and the final product was alright. It's not to my liking, but it was good for practice. And then here I'm just adding the final details to the leaves, or the leaf, and just making sure like once it dries a bit, I'll just add a little bit more white. As you can see here, I was trying to like add texture to it again, and I think I gave up after a bit because it just wasn't working for me. I wanted to like put like some dark spots in and then just glaze it off with like a light watery pink, just so it could like kind of mesh but still have that texture. But I don't think I did it properly, and I think I was like, you know what, it looks good for now, I'll try again later. And here we are with the final product after a few days, and I think the dumplings look alright, the rice balls look pretty good, but the mochi could be better. So this was a good experiment though. But thank you again for watching, and have a good day. Thank you.